All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, the great millstone who rule well, and salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shati from the Chicago camp, coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And on this segment of the Common Sense Show with Dave Hodges, he has a segment entitled Major American Cities on the Verge of Running Out of Water. Now, there's an overabundance of water on this earth and ways to get water. So, I'm sure they're not going to technically run out of water, but I'm sure what he's going to be getting into is how these super elite corporations whose business happen to be natural resources, in this instance water, how these guys are going to use water as a weapon to control the people to do whatever they desire or want them to do. So it's a short video, about 6 minutes and 8 minutes, 6 minutes and 8 seconds long. I'm sure it may not take all of that, but in any case, we're going to let Dave Hodges speak on this.
It's no longer a case of water everywhere. The water situation for many American cities is in crisis. And where do you think the number one city that's going to run out of water, clean, drinkable water, is? Any guesses? It's already a distressed city. It's a cesspool. It's a sewer. It's San Francisco. Hi, everybody. This is Dave Hodges. I'm the host of the Common Sense Show, and we are the show that is freeing America, one enslaved mind at a time. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When someone controls your food and water, they control you. And this is something that we really need to be concerned about, because if food can be withheld and if water can be withheld, you can manipulate large population centers. And this is exactly what we have.
And he's right. All right. When people don't have access to the basic things in life, they're going to resort to a very primal nature. Okay? And so that brings me to Ecclesiasticus 29 and 21. And he says that the chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. All right? Because it's a shameful thing that a person can't sustain himself, that he does not have the means to physically sustain himself. When you don't have water, you don't have anything to drink, you can't take a shower, so you're gonna be musty and stinking, your breath gonna stink, everything gonna stink. All right? It's gonna be hard for you to cook, because most things that you need to cook require water in some way, shape, or fashion. Okay, whether it's to broil something, whether it's to make a stew or whatever the case may be, water is very essential in our daily lives. And it says that water is one of the chief things in life. And if you're denied one of those chief things in life, what do you think these people are going to do? They're going to get very violent. It's like I said in one of my previous videos, these folks have accomplished a diligent search. All right. They've had people who have studied the psychology of human nature for hundreds of years. So they know exactly what they're going to do, and they know exactly every single outcome that's going to happen when they deny these people this water. All right? And that leads me to see Micah. What's that, 2:1? Yeah, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. So it says, destruction to them that devise evil things and work evil upon their beds. It says, when the morning is light, that means when they have the opportunity, they practice it. So when who has the opportunity to practice all this evil? Bad Uncle Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, when since he has this opportunity, he's using it to his advantage to exploit the people to his benefit. It says, because it is in the power of their hand. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence. Okay? Not only can you physically take a field by violence, but you can also take people's land away from them by denying them the resources that it takes to sustain that land. And what is the major resource that sustains land? Water. Without water, there's no plants. Without plants, there's no animals. There's no insects. Without plants and animals, there's going to be no people. They know exactly what they're doing. Let's continue.
Going on in America today, the stage is being set for massive control of these resources. What do you think the second city would be? I'll give you a clue. It's on the border. Yes, and if you said El Paso, you are absolutely correct. And here's another one. This is kind of interesting too. Denver. Now, Denver has snow runoff like you wouldn't believe. Why should they have a problem? Well, it's because of the way the water is being handled, because of Agenda 21 regulations, or I should say now, Agenda 2030. And keep in mind, should there be a catastrophe that wipes out Washington, D.C., Denver would be the new capital. And the DIA and the underground fortresses they built there would be the center of that. And they are trying, in my humble opinion, to drive people out of Colorado, or will, through the manipulation of water. So Denver would be number 3. So we've got El Paso, San Francisco number 1, Denver number 3, and number 4 is the area that I live near. I live in the rural desert north of Phoenix, and Phoenix is number 4. And of course, I'm not surprised because it is the desert. And so number 4 would be a problem. And Phoenix is definitely gambling on water levels staying stagnant, the same, not declining, and the population growth is still growing. And along those lines is another desert city, Las Vegas. Should you be surprised? We're starting to add up. By the way, Phoenix metropolitan area has over 4 million people. So we're not talking about small towns having problems. Number 6 is Miami. Wow, really? And I'm going to just give you some of these cities in random fashion. Major population centers are having trouble. Atlanta comes in at number 7. Atlanta, the industrial hub and the medical research hub of the United States, in Atlanta, and they're going to run out of water. Lincoln, Nebraska, that's a bad sign for farming, folks. Really bad sign. So Nebraska comes in at number 8, number 9. Of course, this shouldn't surprise everybody. I'm shocked that it's not number 1 or number 2, and that would be Los Angeles. Oh, and I'll tell you, if they ever have electrical shortages here, and they can't pump that water over those mountain ranges, it'll be number 1 very quickly.
Right. Because you better believe that these rich people who own these natural resources have many ways of making sure that folks don't have available access to water. And it's funny how the cities that he's mentioned, they have a huge populace. They're by the ocean, or they're able to produce mass amounts of food. Now, that's not a coincidence because, like he said, that's all part of the Agenda 21 or Agenda 2030, as they call it now. All right, to corral all these people to certain locations where they can lower the boom on them. All right, like I said, they know how to make resources scarce, and that's all biblical prophecy too. Because as it says in the scripture, we're going to go to Isaiah 19, I think it was 19 and 2. Well, that is going to happen. Egyptian shall fight against Egyptian, because they're not going to have any water. That's not what I wanted, but that it is going to be true. Because, hey, as I said before, when it comes to natural resources, if it comes down between two men and one glass of water, and they're both thirsty, and they might have families, it's going to be every man for himself. Oh, here it is. It's just further down. Sorry about that. This is Isaiah 19 and 6. And it says, Isaiah 19 and 5. And the water shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dry up. Because they have resources that can draw water out of the ocean and take the salt out of it and make it available for people to drink. But they're not going to do that. Why? Because that would actually promote life. And this economy, not economy, but the rulers of this world, who's bad Uncle Esau, the so-called white man, they're not trying to do anything that's going to promote life and abundance. Okay? All they're doing is just trying to create death. All right? They are that pale horse as spoken of. And they're not that pale horse, but they are that spirit of the pale horse. All right? Creating death and hunger and all other types of madness around the world. I had to correct that, because bad Uncle Esau is actually the red horse, but he embodies that spirit of the pale horse. But in any case, it says, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be empty and dried up, and the reeds and flags shall wither. Because a lot of these places, like he mentioned, that's Phoenix, Arizona, and Nevada, a lot of these places where there's pretty much a desert, hey, those are going to be some of the first places that are going to have huge outbreaks of violence and rioting. Why? Because there's not going to be any water. These folks already know what the deal is. All right, as I said before, when they know there's no water, there's going to be no plant life. With no plant life, there's no animals. When animals die, the people die. Plain and simple. So that's all I wanted to say on this. And I hope you all were edified. And until next time, once again, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. With that, we're going to say shalom.